Hey, oh, that's right. We're playing the Cubs. We fucking beat you last night. Dude, it's so great. This guy.
2 weeks late.
Padres, Cubs. No, we played them last night.
Was it in San Diego or Wrigley?
This was in Wrigley last night.
Yeah,
this is great. Listen to this. Yeah. Fucking Cubs, Padres playing. They're up 7-0 or 8-0. He texts me like, blah, blah, blah. Just starts talking shit.
That's how you end up losing
games. I
texted one line.
It was a casual talk shit, but I'm like, hey, man, I'm not in the mood for this.
He's not good with that.
No, he's very sensitive.
And then we come back and we fucking beat him 8-7. And I was like, and I sat on that till now.
No, he doesn't have a fun.
Emojis. I said I'm a baseball and a turd. That's all I said.
Pretty subtle.
He might as well.
Don't do this. This isn't funny. First off, he was so heated he wrote, "This is funny." Then I had to write back, "Isn't."
We're down 7-0. I'm just fucking steaming. He's sending me messages.
Yeah.
I'm a psycho about the Padres. I'll admit it.
He really is. But also, once you learn that makes it fun, too.
Yes.
But he couldn't take any pride in talking shit back to me.
Oh, I know.
He was such a bitch about it.
Right.
No.
No, he nailed that.
No, first of all, that's not how.
Because you go, it'd be hypocritical if I now do it.
That's not fucking what happened at all.
Texting me in the 8th inning saying, "Ha ha, motherfucker, look what happened."
I like that none of this is recorded.
It is.
Oh, this is recorded.
That's not what happened at all.
Good.
I'm talking into the mic.
Oh, I thought good. You're the best.
First of all, dude.
Now I'm mad.
That's a new burn. I haven't heard
First
Sally.
of you, dude, fuck off. That's not what happened. You guys were up 7-0. You talk shit, and then we won 8-7. So I knew you were gonna probably kill yourself. So I didn't talk shit. That's really what happened.
Why would he kill himself?
Dude, he doesn't take as serious as I do.
A game in May.
Yeah.
They matter,
I
Zoltan.
don't think Mike's going to kill himself.
All right, that was aggressive. That was just for likes and
30
clicks.
games into the season.
No, it was like 15.
Yeah, you immediately lost your argument. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ.
I went too hard, dude. I Brant Toblered it. I went for the jugular.
I love it.
I'm just saying you would have enjoyed your win more if you could have
No, I know.
Shit back.
I also, I didn't like it. I didn't like you talking shit.
He loves his.
You're down 7-0, fucking third inning. Dude,
a lot of us were like, "What would you do if you had fuck you money?" He's like, and Josh
I
like,
love
buy the
talking
Padres.
You're so good at it.
I love talking trash.
But he doesn't like. You don't like it on the way back.
No, I don't mind it. I can take it on the way
all
back.
right.
He's good about
With
it.
the Padres,
Oh, he
though,
is.
with the Padres, dude, it's like
You might actually be the
That's where
best
you-
at taking it back,
Yeah,
in my
I know that
opinion.
it was 2 emojis that threw him into this.
Well, because it's about the Padres. That's the thing. That's the thing. He's not good at that.
You know what you did. Don't act like you're innocent
When
here.
you're talking about baseball to Josh, he's very un-Josh. All the things you like about Josh, he can't do it if we're talking about the Padres.
I like what he's doing.
Or even baseball, for that matter.
He's like, I just sent 2 emojis. Like, you fucking knew what you did.
Should we introduce our lovely guest?
Yes.
This
I'm
guy
excited.
is one of my favorite comics, and it's not about.
He's not just saying
yeah,
that.
it's not about celebrity. Everybody wants to just watch the comics. Oh, are they on Netflix? I watched Pete Davidson's special. Do you know Matt Rife? Listen, it's all about whoever's the most famous. You don't do the celebrity with Nikki Glazer. Listen, I always go, you don't spend $380 to see Matt Rife from 70 miles away in the bleacher seats. Go to the Improv. You'll see some of the best comics in the world. You spent $40 the whole night after, maybe some drinks too, but and you're going to see some of the best comics. And this is one of the guys. They say, well, then who? Well, here's the guy. Very, very talented, very, very funny. Going to be a huge star if this comedy world is just.
Thank you for
He
giving
is
me the
Taylor Tomlinson's muse.
Coming in hot,
The comic that Taylor Tomlinson's been doing for years.
Zoltan's like,
One of my
don't do
favorite
this.
comedians who I love, Zoltan.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you,
being here,
Jeff.
buddy. Yeah,
I
you're the
appreciate
fucking
it.
man, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I do like the thing you put in where you're like, you don't have to pay $370 to see him from a quarter mile.
Yeah.
You know what's even better? I'll give you this little cheat code. If you ever see me live and they say a higher price ticket for up close, don't worry. The room's so small that I'll save you the $10 to get the cheaper ticket. I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there. You're going to have a great time.
I'll always be one of those comics.
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes.
really will. I think they should have to pay a little more for like a meet and greet. But other than that, just they're all the same seat.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Nice small room. Back row, front row.
You
We're
guys,
here.
shut up. You guys are both doing bigger rooms now.
I know, but they don't
He
charge
is.
a different
You
price
both
for it.
are.
They don't charge a different price for being
Oh, they don't?
closer. Not in my shows.
Oh, okay.
My shows it's all the same. But then if you want a VIP thing, which means you get to meet me, you get a little lanyard, and
there you go. That's more
sign
stuff.
and talk to you. Then you should pay a little more because that's not even the show at that point.
Not totally
now
true,
that's
though.
me hanging out with you.
That's extras.
Yeah.
Not totally true though. Like the Charlotte, they had a balcony and like it's a little smaller theater, so those are different prices.
Those weren't different prices.
Okay.
Same
He's a
price.
man of the people.
Small
But you're
theater.
doing some big rooms too. Like you're doing stand up live. That's 500, 600. Did the improv. So let's not
Yeah.
be too bashful. You guys are both you're both
We're
very
happy.
funny and it's
I'm
starting to go that way.
You know why I'm bashful? Because the last club I did was Bananas.
Oh, yeah, you'll get
in,
humbled.
Rutherford.
Oh, yeah. You know how I opened all those shows?
How'd you open?
And
Well, tell
actually,
them what it is.
To their credit, it killed. They said, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jeff Dye. So then I come up and I go, boy, if my dad could see me now playing Conference Room B. Holy crap, we've done it.
That's what
Welcome to Conference
It
Room
really
B.
is. It really is.
It is
dude.
so humiliating. We've talked about it on this podcast. The difference was that I had it packed.
Yes.
So it was still good shows.
The shows were good.
But that is humbling.
It is weird.
It's in a crappy hotel in a crappy area of New Jersey.
Not to
This is
cut
terrible.
you off, Josh, but I live in Brooklyn now, which is close. But because it's close, it's actually harder to get there because I took a subway to Manhattan.
Oh, God.
Then had to get on the New Jersey bus.
Oh yeah, I saw your
Yeah.
video.
You know, you're
And then
calling an Uber anyways. Why didn't you just get an Uber?
Because I don't know. I'm like, no, I'll be a city slicker and take the public trans. And then it's like a $4
Easy now.
bus.
You live in Brooklyn. Don't be
Oh
throwing
yeah,
around
public transit. Excuse me,
Brooklyn
the full
trans.
Yeah, full word.
I don't want all your new Brooklyn friends to think you've changed. We heard you on that Cowboys podcast. And what
It's only been 2 minutes. You're already changing, dude.
Your little piece of shit friend inspired you to say trans loosely.
In terms of the transit system of New Jersey. They dropped me off in a ditch. You saw it on my
I saw the
stories.
video, dude. You're like, this is where they dropped me. I was like, dude, you're joking, right?
It's in a ditch. It's like me and 10 people getting off the bus, and then it's like we're going through the weeds. We
Oh
come
my
out
God.
of the weeds, and then we go into this hotel, or I went into the hotel.
You're like the monkey man in India.
Yeah, and if you're ever driving around, and you're like, where the hell did those people come out of the weeds? The
That's-
bus dropped
that's
them off.
wild, dude.
That's where they came from. But yeah, conference room.
I'll tell you what, it was funny to do the shows and you're coming out of the elevator and they're just grabbing like the scaffolding to put over there and put the sign up for where the show
yeah,
is.
they put a little tripod, a little what is that thing called? The little
We'd
it
ask
holds
him to look
art,
it up,
little
but he
triangle thing. It's not scaffolding.
An
but-
easel.
Yeah, it's an
Easel,
easel.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like,
So also we showed up. It's not even that far before showtime. We're like, where is the showroom?
like,
And they're like, oh, it's over in there. And I go, well, how would anyone know? There's no marquee or anything. And the guy goes, no, there's a sign. And I go, I don't see a sign. We walked over there. He goes, oh, it's not up yet. Well, but what's the point of the sign if you don't put it up till showtime? And it's a terrible sign. It's just a picture of a monkey with like an arrow.
It is. It's a picture of a gorilla going bananas.
Yeah, and also, I get the connection. There's a gorillas eat bananas or whatever, but
Sure.
make it a banana or something. You know, like put a big like bananas comedy club. Here's who's playing, but they don't want to put a new sign up every week.
But Jimmy Fallon got his start there.
No, he didn't. It was when bananas
That's
was
what
at a
they said,
different
right?
hotel room.
It was in but it was
It was
also
in
a hotel.
different hotel room in a different conference room in a different city in New Jersey.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it was still fun, and we had a good time. I don't want to like be so harsh on
Especially
it.
for you, you're right. It was close.
The shows were really fun.
I loved the
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
But we're not wrong to make fun of it. It
No.
was so unfancy. And comedy clubs, we already have a low bar for what a comedy club is. To walk in there, you're like, holy shit, I thought things were really taking off. I had like just done Rogan. I go, what is this?
It's also weird. It's like if you didn't do well, you just have to walk by everybody that's at
Yeah.
the bar in the
Yeah.
lobby just to go to your hotel, your elevator.
And then
know-
also like you're like inevitably, and this isn't me, it's every comic who has some success. You get fans that don't know boundaries. You get
Oh.
people that like have a crush on you or like so now they know you're staying there.
Oh.
So they're just like lingering around, like, hey, you know what's up now? And you're like, no,
Jeff?
I don't want to get on the elevator. I don't want you walking to wherever.
I hate to tell you, but I've done shows with Zoltan recently, and his fans are a little different than yours.
His fans are already married and got to get home to their 7 cats.
That's
Nice ladies.
Very nice.
Bro,
Great ladies.
I
but
did a show with him.
they're not banging, you know?
I did the weekend with him in Cleveland. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the lady in the front row was dressed like a cat.
Oh,
she had
boy.
her face
What do you
painted like
mean?
a cat.
You're kidding.
No, dude.
With
Well, all right,
ears.
before I judge her, was she older than 7 years
no,
old?
Yes.
she was.
Then that's a problem. Then it's a problem.
But she was doing it as a joke, supposedly she said. So
I make fun
it
of
was funny.
MGK. I got to make fun of a woman who paints her face like a cat.
Yeah,
It was funny.
that's my crowd. I did a tour once.
Loyal
like
as shit, though.
Yeah, first of all, I
Awesome.
love them.
Yeah,
First,
awesome.
I love them for a couple of reasons. One, they're very loyal and they're very nice. And every time I work a club, the staff is always like, "Man, your audience is so nice."
Yeah, they are
They
nice.
don't tip us.
No, they do.
Cat ladies tip?
Yeah, they
No, they
tip.
don't.
Apparently.
There's no way.
Apparently. They
They're like,
never
we're going to
have
split
to.
a side salad and can we have a water? Like, you have to buy 2 drinks. And they're like, oh, can the 2 drinks be a bottle of water? You're like, yes.
I'll have a bowl of milk
but we
and,
don't-
A
and,
saucer.
and a check. And the
Saucer of milk and a check.
How much is 2 catnips? I want to get all
But then you also have like
rockin'.
broy dudes too.
Sometimes
It's like an interesting mix.
It's a weird mix because the cat jokes went well, and then it's the therapy jokes went well because I
yeah,
did some
for
bits
sure.
about anxiety. So my audience, whether it's cats, therapy, or whatever, they're broken people. They're
Yeah.
hurt people. But I'm
But
their
kind
guy.
people, like sweet
But
people.
kind.
Yeah,
but they
I-
have some baggage, and I'm
everyone,
their guy.
everyone's broken, but
Yes.
these are like sweet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet broken.
My people
Yeah.
are broken in a weird way. Yeah, they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're broken. Shut the fuck up if you're broken. We're dealing with it. See how good we're doing with our brokenness?
true,
Quit
dude.
crying. This guy's telling everybody quit crying. I like him.
He's holding it in.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Your
My crowd
audience,
would call your crowd pussies and like go like this to them, and they're like, "What did we do?" And they're like, we don't know what you did.
But I'm gonna take it one step further. If your crowd and my crowd had a beer together,
Oh,
they'd
dude.
finish hugging.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they would go,
No, but
come here.
And my guys are nice too. Yeah, like
Yes.
I have, and to the people that maybe listen to this that aren't like real inside comedy, inside baseball, not everyone loves their crowds. I can think of, and I'm not going to share it on this because maybe they wouldn't want me to share it, but I can think of 5 very famous comedians off the top of my head that I've heard say to me like, I hate my audience.
Really?
This is the audience I have, but like this isn't the audience I want.
Go to the Patreon for one person. He's gonna out him.
Yeah, no, I don't want it because they'd be mad at me.
joking.
They'd be like, "Why would you say that?" I was
then
like,
you
"Well,
just
it's true."
make it up.
And they go, "Yeah, it's true, but I told you. I didn't say it on a podcast."
I remember Doug Stanhope said that once on an interview or
His
on a
crowds are
special.
wild.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I was heading to my show. I got off the train and I was walking to the venue and I saw a group of people and I'm like, I don't like them. I'm going to cross the street. And then we both ended up at the venue. They're my audience. And he's like, my audience
He is one of the
terrifies
5 that I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah,
because,
but he's
he doesn't-
publicly
good.
said it. So.
Well, it's like Fish, the band Fish. The band Fish, like, you know, they're looking at the crowd going, "Oh, Jesus Christ." They're playing the songs going, "Oh,
This is not what we made this
gosh,
for.
we really want to make music, but this is look at them all."
Well,
for the record, you like your crowd. Like you're not one of
love-
these 5.
I really
Yeah,
love
all
my
right,
audience.
Cool.
Yeah,
and I
that's
feel
why
the
I'm
same
happy
way.
to talk to them.
Yeah.
I used to drink with them, and now I'm trying to figure out how to connect with them in a way that isn't drinking. I don't want to
For
be
your
Bert,
own
I don't want to
safety.
be Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm because I don't want to I don't want that pressure of partying.
If you don't want to.
The guy, he's gonna die. Bert's gonna die, and it's because he's
He looked
just-
pretty jacked today.
just punishing.
yeah, he
himself.
goes through phases. Of
Yeah,
gets
he's
shape
in
and
like
then
a
he-
health
Well, there's a
phase.
reason he goes for 3
Yeah, 'cause
months.
he's-
You know,
his body's hurting.
If he doesn't
you
make
can't
it-
do that long and be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
like it catches up to you.
yeah, and also it's like you. That's why he makes it a thing. Oh, I'm not drinking for 6 months. Because if he doesn't
It's all
make
or
it a
nothing.
thing, then everyone's like, "But you're the drinking guy." But like it breaks their brain. But that's just a little golden cage for him to
He's an
have
all
to
or
drink
nothing
all
guy.
the time.
Yeah,
It's
that's
terrible.
a prison.
Yeah,
to have to,
be
live up
Van
to that.
Wilder your whole life.
But also,
the party
like,
ends.
Just
eventually.
try not to be a couple shows and see what happened. You think his crowd would just leave him if he'd stopped?
Yeah. Oh no, they wouldn't leave him. No, they would
No.
love him. He doesn't
Yeah.
need to do it.
Yeah,
but
if
I'm
he
just
stopped
saying.
taking his shirt off, I don't think they're going to leave him.
He
but,
thinks he
it's-
needs
yeah,
to do it.
I get
But
it.
I don't want to be that guy, and it was already taxing on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's very few individuals that can pull it off like a Ric Flair. I know
Yeah.
we're both wrestling
Well,
fans.
but he sucks.
He sucks as
Yeah,
a person.
fucking terrible. Just got kicked out of a pizza place this week.
Did he really?
Yeah, you didn't hear about
Oh, no, I didn't hear
this?
that.
Sucks.
Do you like Ric Flair?
I don't know him personally, and I'm sure I wouldn't like him personally, but I think as an enigma, as a thing, I love him, and I love him as a wrestler, as a wrestling fan.
I think so. Chris Bowers, shout out to him. He's got his great joke about how like some people just live too long. He's like if OJ would have died in college, we'd have been like he could have been the greatest NFL player of all. We would only say good things about OJ Simpson. We'd talk about him the way we talk about Len Bias or anything. We'd be like, we'd be like OJ could have been. We would never even. Couldn't have murdered that lady and that guy. So same thing with Ric Flair. He should have died like 30 years ago. Because it's all just these now old guy things that he just keeps doing that everyone's like,
he's dressed like a pimp for some reason.
Yeah, and he's just wandering around going, I'm Ric Flair, woo. And everyone's like, can you put your penis away, sir?
Did you see him on Kill
Can you
Tony?
not do this? Yeah, he sucked
that
on
was
Kill
so
Tony.
awkward, dude.
Yeah.
You know what's the weird? I agreed with the sentiment of what he was saying. Because he didn't know what
you
the
hate
show...
Kill Tony.
No, because I
say it, Zoltan. Zoltan said
That's
it here
what
first.
you meant.
I just like the idea
That's
of
the
like
title
we're
of
gonna
the
be
episode.
mean to these open micers. I'm like, ugh. And I'm sure they do it in a whatever way that they do it that people like it. But like Ric Flair didn't know what the show was.
Yeah, but you got to know.
But
what
he's
you're getting
hammered.
into. Yeah.
So instead of just going, hey, like these guys are really like putting their hearts out there, and we're really pulling our pants down,
Yeah.
really taking a piss on their soul.
What world do you live in? Would you think you're going to change the premise of what the whole audience wanted?
Exactly.
It's like a fat girl going, maybe if everyone else just changed their opinions of fat girls.
Right.
Oh, you think that's easier?
No,
Than just getting a treadmill? You
Yes.
think changing everyone's opinion is the more logical
Feisty
response?
today,
I get what you're saying, and
He
I
goes,
agree.
I know you all bought tickets to watch this circus of just fucking dunking on people. And every comic on stage is also. And then he starts to give a little speech. Everyone's like, get the fuck out of here.
It's
Like
because he was hammered.
Came to the wrong.
I feel
he's
like
always
if he was,
hammered.
if he was sober, he would have kept that in his heart and went, "Ugh, I should have watched an episode
Yeah, or
before I
maybe
showed
go-
up."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Wait,
like
hey
Coachella.
guys, is this what this is? Oh, okay.
It's like when I went to Coachella and I was like, it's just a bunch of young people listening to music and doing drugs. And I was like,
he was all mad
I
about
was like,
it.
yeah, Jeff, that's what they do here. And that's what Ric Flair, can you believe they're making fun of these guys?
It
Like,
is-
they signed up, they waited in a parking lot
That is
in
true.
Austin for 7 hours to get dunked on by these guys.
That is true.
It is funny because the Coachella thing one time, I was like, did you like Coachella? He goes, no, I hated it. People like doing drugs. I was like,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Is that really your opinion?
yeah,
I
it's
hated
one of
it.
them. Well, like
But
his
then I
group-
drove, but I'm aware enough to drive home and go, oh, that was me. It's a
Yeah.
Jeff problem. You don't go to church and yell at everyone for being religious.
Yes.
Like, that's what I did at Coachella. And that's what Ric Flair did at Kill Tony.
Very true.
And it's just like, dude, you shouldn't have been here. You drunk idiot.
I've been doing that where like before you accept a booking, why don't you take a look at what you're accepting
Yes,
and
100%.
see if you can slide in with your personality into
Yeah.
what's going on. He doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, when I
He's like,
play
"I'll go."
Portland, there is not a single person who's ever resided in Portland in that audience. It is everyone from Oregon driving
Right, yeah,
to
yes.
Portland to go, maybe he'll dunk on a girl with a mohawk tonight. But then there's none there to me.
there's
It's
none
just,
there.
yeah.
And the good thing about Portland, they don't have to come from that far outside
Oh, yeah,
of
it's
the
a
city.
small little city.
You
yeah.
get to Beaverton, which
Yeah.
is what, 20 minutes out?
Yeah.
And you're already in regular.
That's
It's
why
red,
his shows are full there.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Yeah, Oregon is red and Washington is red. But people think that Washington's blue because of Seattle, but that's a tiny little city and a giant state, and same with Portland.
Same with California, because I always
Yeah.
tell people that like they always like California's blue, and it is, but it's just the couple of the big
the big
cities.
cities.
Yep.
Because outside of that,
And they're
even
real blue.
San Diego's not blue.
It's every
It
big
is
city.
technically just by
military.
votes, but it's not.
It's a big military.
Yeah, yeah,
city.
but it's like if you go just the votes, it is.
Which is
Right.
by
weird
a
to
few
me.
votes, but it's like 50-50.
Right.
Which in California, that's in a city, that's crazy. But yeah, it's military. There's all of it.
I
There's
find
money,
the
there's not.
I find one of my favorite. How long did you live in San Diego?
I just moved last year to New York, so most of my life.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
from,
from
there
there.
too.
Yeah,
I
from
knew you
there.
lived there. I didn't
Yeah.
know you're
Yeah,
from
I
there.
moved
From
there in
there.
like
Well,
the
the weird
second
thing,
grade.
what I like about San Diego, and I've said this many times, is that it's like a bunch of like cool, like beach people. Like, and even if they don't go to the beach and they don't surf, they're like beach people who surf.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's cool like that. You'll meet a guy that's like 45. I'm like, what do you do for a living? He's like, I'm a bartender. Like, and he's fine with it. He just longboards to work. He plays Madden football
those are
all
all my
day, and then
friends.
they're the best. And then there's military guys who I love. Like that's my target demo. Like for the cool.
A lot
like,
of fighters there too now.
A lot of fighters.
A lot of UFC guys.
Big
and-
UFC gym.
Military and UFC guys are red.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the bartender longboard guys, they're just more
They don't
agnostic.
care.
No, yeah, they're more agnostic to
whatever.
politics.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't know. Like I had a few abortions. Does that make me liberal? I don't know how. Like,
Yeah,
like they don't
yeah.
really even think about it much.
Their view on abortion is like, well, who's getting it?
Yeah.
Does it benefit me or not
Yeah,
me?
wait
They're like, do I have to drive them or?
Do I have to skate them
Yeah,
there on
I
my
can
longboard?
meet them there on my longboard.
That's very you broke down San Diego politics
You did,
very well.
for sure.
The way I broke down the difference between San Diego and LA is in San Diego, our Uber drivers are just Uber drivers.
Oh, I love
They're
that.
not like trying to pitch you their
You know,
demo.
I also am a director, and you're like, oh, you know, right now you're the Uber driver.
Have you had a stand-up
Just have some
comedian Uber
pride
driver?
in this one.
Have you guys had a comedian Uber driver
No.
yet?
No. Have
Okay.
you?
Yeah, I did.
Was it someone you know? Like,
No,
was
I
this
didn't
in
know
San
him.
Diego?
He just said he was a comedian, and because it was San Diego, I was like, oh, here we go. I don't wanna-
So
if I don't know you
it was
and you're
Phil
a comedian,
Kunka.
if you're it was Phil and Chris. Like if you're a comedian in San Diego, and if I don't know you, that means you probably just started out.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I'm a comedian. I was just like, oh, here
You're in
we
San
go.
Diego. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not.
You live here?
I never
no, you're
heard
not.
of you.
Yeah.
I never booked you.
I've
Where do
never
you
gotten
play?
75 Instagram DMs from you to do candies.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
impossible.
Well, in San Diego, you just go, whoa, where do you play? And then they go, oh, I play this bar, this bar. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you play the Comedy Palace?
Yes. Well, like, since that's not around anymore.
Yeah.
You did the comedy.
I did the
Palace
comedy. That's how I
many-
met Josh. And
That's how we
I
met.
met Bjorn. Is that his name?
Bijan.
Bijan. Yeah.
Yes.
Bijan. And that's how I met you.
It was the San Diego Comedy Festival.
Zach Miller.
And he was
remember all that.
headlining the festival. Zach
And you
Miller
know the
booked
show
him.
that was you know the show was packed because Zach Miller did like 30 minutes as the host,
My favorite was
and
he
then sold
headlined the
shirts
festival, and then
at
he
a
did,
bar across the street
No.
that no one even went to the
Not
show.
even-
Out of
Bro,
his parking,
out of
his trunk.
out of the car of his parking lot in the like. The
Such a
car-
hustler.
He
You
sold
think he's from
shirts.
Queens, New York? The way this guy hustles.
This dude, he headlined it. He did 15 minutes after you did. He pitched his merch, and then out of the trunk of his car, right next to
Yeah.
the front door, he sold his.
He
merch.
stayed up there forever. It was crazy.
that's
And then
Zach.
he gave away a guest set to what's our friend? He's a great guy. He's sober now, but he didn't used to be
Billy
the,
Bonnell?
the opposite of sober. Billy Bonnell.
Yeah.
And he threw him a guest set, and I was like, all right, yeah, I guess that's more time. And then Billy Bonnell just went up there and fucking murdered, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah, as he
slayed.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I was just going, this is not looking good. I'm not gonna get. We're 90 minutes into the show, and I haven't even gone on stage, and it's in an Indian restaurant. I mean, the whole place was a mess.
It went-
I was like, I thought I was in San Diego. It's not even near San Diego.
Well,
Because my idea of San Diego was like the gas lamp and like
Right.
all this stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't look familiar at all. I'm on the side of a freeway.
Next to the strip club.
Yeah, the marquee
That's-
is on a truck that's parked in front.
The goal was they bought a box truck and they're like, we're gonna drive it around, get the word out
Nope.
about the club.
parked.
It lasted a week and then it never left again. They're like, the gas, buddy. So they just parked their advertisement truck that they bought. They just
in the
parked
front of
next
their
to
own
the
club.
venue.
Yeah, it
And
just
they're
sat there. And it was hardly a palace. Let me
People
tell you
can
that.
see it. People
Yeah.
can see it.
Why'd you name it the Comedy Palace?
well, the
A palace makes it sound like we're gonna go to a palace.
my favorite part is they put up like a soundproof wall, like glass door,
So we can hang in the bar.
But they didn't have that before. It was just an open bar that people would just talk to while you're doing the show.
Yeah.
So you could just hear people ordering before
yeah.
they put up that wall.
And they were the nicest guys in the world that
Yeah.
owned it, like because there were so many people there. They came out and treated me like I was like Dave Chappelle or something. They're like
Right.
the two guys in cheap suits that look like they were
Tony and
from
George.
Tony
the
and
movie
George,
Monkey
yeah.
Man came up to me and they're like, "Oh, this was great. We're so happy to have you." And I was going, "Jesus, is
I
it not
don't-
normally like this? What's going on here?"
No, it wasn't. And Tony and George were always very sweet. Their dad, the older man, was a part of the business too somehow. And I remember they used to have a buffet. One time I did their New Year's Eve, and they're like, go have some buffet food. And the old man didn't know I was a comedian. So he thought I snuck in.
And
just
you used
for
to have
their-
long hair, so he's
Yeah.
thinking, "Who's this bum?"
Yeah, he thought I snuck in from
This
the parking
vagrant.
lot, like I came from the
We
bus
let a
stop.
homeless guy in a cat shirt. He's eating all the couscous.
That's what they thought. And he's just mad dogging me while I'm eating the food, and I'm like, all right. And then when I went on stage, he saw me walk up, and then I saw him, and he just went, okay.
Yeah. It all was relieved.
I was about to assault you for taking the couscous, but
That's
it's
so
okay
funny,
now.
dude.
Yeah.
That's great. What a great spot.
God bless the Comedy Palace. Now the
We
mic
miss
drop.
it, yeah.
Mic drop. Yep, been in there a couple times.
Yeah, I love the mic drop. Shout
Love
out to
the club.
Casey and
They
all
put
the-
in $1 billion to make that thing not
know.
look like the Comedy Palace.
Yeah, doesn't look the same at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just in the strip mall.
It's the Comedy Palace if it was hallucinating.
Hey, have you ever done comedy on mushrooms?
No.
You haven't?
No, I did one on an edible at the Comedy
Oh,
Palace.
an edible.
It was an edible.
How'd that go?
Oh my god. All right, so this was back in the Zach Miller days.
Okay.
We were doing a showcase and it was Bijan and
Jesse,
bunch of guys that smoke weed very much. My tolerance is very low. And we did the early show. We had so much fun. They passed out these edibles and we all took them. And they're like, "You're gonna have a great time." We took them, and I'm going
have
on.
a great time. Here's your drugs.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a great time.
You're gonna have a great time. I just remember them saying, "You're gonna have a great time."
Like the drugs had a business manager.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're gonna have a great time.
You're gonna
Take
have a
two
great
of
time.
these. Enjoy
Good
it.
seats.
Yeah.
were you headlining?
I was closing out the showcase.
Yeah,
so I'm
whatever,
going on
yeah.
last on the showcase.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. But I noticed that it's like Bijan went on in the middle. And he has a high tolerance, and there was a moment where he forgot his punchline to his joke.
Oh, boy.
And he was on stage, and he just looked at the audience and went, "Line!" Like he forgot.
He yelled line.
He yelled line.
That's
And
brilliant.
everyone laughed, and I'm like, "Oh no! If he's this messed up now, I don't go on for another 30 or 40."
Yeah, you're doomed.
And then right before I went on stage, I was too high, and I'm like, "I don't want to go up there."
And you know what's good for drugs? Stress and panic. Yes. That's always a good combo.
And I went, and they're like, "You're gonna have a great time up there." I'm like, "I'm not having fun now, standing amongst you." And they're like, "You're gonna do great." So I went up there. I was supposed to do 20, and I did one joke. I did the first joke, and it went off. Everyone laughed, and then for some reason, I looked at him. I was like, "Was that me? Is it just me, or did that take 20 minutes to tell?" And then
You're like, how am I doing on time? You're like, what? One joke.
and the audience looked at me like, "Huh?" And then I got panicked. I'm like, "Oh no, they now know I'm high."
Right, that's the worst.
And then so I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And then I told one more joke and I left. I did 4 minutes. I did 4 minutes.
That's great.
Zach Miller's in the setting up his trunk with his
Yeah,
shirt.
exactly.
So Jesse had
Jesse
to run.
had to come back in and do time.
Were they paying you to do the 20 minutes?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
much, though.
Yeah, not
Oh,
much.
yeah,
Couldn't
so,
really
so,
low.
so screw 'em. Yeah.
But my favorite part was
At the
there-
most, it would have been $50 or $100.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
They paid you.
The part that stuck with me after all of that is there was a fan of San Diego comedy that kept coming out to shows, and he had some sort of horrific injury to him where he has a giant scar over his face and his eye was down here now.
Okay.
And he was at the show. I didn't say I was going to be at the show. It was just a surprise thing, whatever, not advertised. But he comes up to me.
He was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Because of the drugs. He just looked you're like, this guy's beautiful.
The opposite, yeah.
He was
That was
extra
through you for a
terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And he was browbeating me. Well, browbeating
What
me.
does browbeating mean?
Like, he was coming down on me. He's like, I brought my friends out to the
Oh.
show, and you just did 2 minutes and ran off, and I was too high to
Technically
defend
4.
myself. Right, yeah, technically 4.
Yeah, exactly.
I was too high to defend myself, and then Jesse came by to try to help me. He's like, "Hey, let's move it along. He's
Yeah.
too high."
Oh,
to,
that's
like,
good. That's
talk
nice.
to me.
Have you talked to this guy since?
I told the story on my podcast a
Yeah.
couple years ago, and he left a comment saying, "Hey man, I'm really sorry."
Yeah,
Oh,
my
that's
bad, dude.
nice.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
he
didn't know I was going to be there, and I
Right.
just happened to be there, so it's not like I ripped
didn't
him off
sell
on
it
tickets.
because of you.
Yeah, and then the edible turned out.
Jesse and Bijan told me to ask you that story.
That's really funny.
That was.
They
I don't do any. I keep it to like 1 or 2 beers before I go on stage, if any.
Yeah, you
and
don't
no,
want- you don't
no
wanna repeat
marijuana.
that.
Yeah, no marijuana before comedy.
I did a show on mushrooms. Like, I did mushrooms all day. And when I do mushrooms, it's not like what Josh considers mushrooms. Like, I do.
every time, dude.
Well, because everyone's like, oh, I microdose and do
No, you're
little.
doing it
It's
real.
like, I do. I go
He goes on a
hard.
journey.
Yeah.
I go every time. And it's, I'm not saying that's better. I'm saying it's just different
Yeah.
than what you're doing. And, dude, that show was way too.
You were loose as shit.
Oh my god! And it was like very introspective. Like there would be like moments of like thoughtful pauses and like just me, you know.
was, dude.
It was way too much for like it was a fine show, but it was a totally different show than what you'd want to sign up for. You know?
Some real Chappelle pauses in there where you're like pontificating.
Yeah,
and
and
then
I'm
you're like,
going, what is it about? You know, just like they're going, this isn't funny.
Actually, you were funny.
Maybe
that
he's
day.
heading somewhere with this, and I was like, no, maybe if she had 6 tits, I'd commit. Well, how much? What? Maybe if I had a house with 12 stories, maybe that would make me happy. Maybe if I had 75 Teslas with monster truck wheels, maybe I wouldn't be so searching. And everyone's going, what is happening?
You actually were so
guy's
funny.
turning
I was like,
introspective.
I thought
He's
you were gonna
growing.
bomb so hard because I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this shit. He's gonna try this, and it wasn't.
Was
that
this
bad.
in San Diego?
No,
No, it's
we
in
were at
Arizona.
in Phoenix doing
years ago.
shows, and we were at the pool all day, and then he did it. And
Well, because you know how like sometimes, I don't know how much you've done mushrooms or if our listeners have. It goes in waves.
Yeah.
So it'll be like really intense for who knows how long. But then there are moments where you're like, oh, it's worn off. I'm fine now. Like you'll just think you're regular.
And you're not.
And then you'll go to like the bathroom and take a peek of yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm not good.
I've only had.
I thought I was good. I'm not good.
I thought of that something like that. I'll let you go first, and then I'll tell you what I was gonna say.
Well, the only time I've done a full dose was my buddy's the day before his wedding after rehearsals. I thought we were at a bar and I thought he said it was a microdose, but it was actually a full dose. And then I got it really kicked in, waves under my feet. And I remember I had a burger at this bar because one guy told me that this bar was on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And then the
Not
guy
a real exclusive group, by the way.
Right.
You know, this was on that show that did thousands of episodes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
He was into it.
Wow, it
though.
was on
I
that
was
show?
into it.
Yeah,
I
we
was
were
like,
into
Guy
it.
Fieri liked it. Hell yeah. So I'm eating the burger, but now I'm getting high. And then I was like, yeah, this burger tasted weird. This was on that show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And the guy that actually lived in that town, he's like, no, bar rescue. And I'm like,
That makes way more sense.
that's the exact opposite.
That means they cleaned up their act for a couple months, took the free remodel, and went right back to business as
Hey
usual.
man, I wouldn't have ordered this burger if I would have known it was on Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
So now I've finished the burger. It's in my belly. I'm on mushrooms, so I'm already uncomfortable. Everyone's faces is big and
mushrooms
neon.
hurts your stomach.
And it hurts your
Yeah, it's
stomach,
not
and
good.
all I keep thinking of is John Taffer yelling at the cook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Why'd you put the burger on the ground? And it's like it's in your stomach.
Why'd you put the burger on?
Don't spit on the buns.
Is that what you guys have been doing here?
Yeah, we had to leave.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, it's funny how when you do like that drugs or that sort of edibles or mushrooms, like it'll really hit you when you go to the bathroom. Like you'll either be in an outhouse.
I have a theory
and
on
you'll
that.
be peeing, and all of a sudden you go, oh.
I have a theory about it.
What is the theory?
Because generally people don't do drugs alone. It's your first time just with you and your thoughts.
You get- it's like
Because you go to the
introspective.
bathroom and you're by yourself, so like you'll check your phone or you'll do things that alone people do. But when you're on drugs, you're just it's like, oh, this is it's just me.
It's me with me.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels weird when I pee. Why are the lights so bright on my phone?
You're taking a
Like,
shit. You're like, is this normal? I don't know if I should be taking a shit like this.
so true.
very
It
strange.
just hits you. That makes sense. It's the first time you're
Yeah, it's the
alone and you
first
got
time,
your
yeah.
thoughts.
Same with drinking, anything. Once you get alone, that's
Yeah.
when you're like, oh, darkness.
Yeah. All of a
You
sudden,
see
I'm
yourself in the
texting my
mirror?
ex. You ever think about me? I would have done that out there when I was making everyone laugh.
It's 6 p.m., Jeff. It's 6 p.m., Jeff.
Texting my dad. What are you doing? You want to have a catch? He's like, I'm a grown.
Too
I have
funny.
kids. What are you talking about?
Before we get into the game, I want to ask you, do you have any like really bad bomb stories?
So many. Too many, probably. But what do you have one?
No,
that
I was going to
won
say,
me?
if you need time to think about it, I was going to have him tell his
No,
What's
you can
mine?
go ahead.
the food
I
one.
got 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
This
pizza one.
story
it's-
makes me laugh
I
so
was
hard.
opening for Harold Gomez on the road. I had no business being a feature act.
I know
yet.
Harold Gomez.
Yeah,
He's
he's the
Seattle
best.
guy.
Took me on the road. It was partially because we got along,
That story
Yeah.
makes
but
me
then
laugh.
also partially because like I had like a BMW like SUV,
And he wanted to ride.
and I had gas money, and I was like enthusiastic. I brought people out to shows. I would tell everyone we're comics, so then they would come to the show. Also, it wasn't my BMW; it was a girl I was hooking up with, and she had money,
was, dude.
and she would just let me use
Jeff
her.
Dye's
She would
world.
just let me. He'd be like, "You're a starving comedian." I was like, "Yeah, this girl I'm hooking up with said I could just drive her X5," and then he's like, "They were like, so like all the older comics were like gossiping about me, like this kid is."
Yeah,
He's
you
just
and I
making
have
things
lived very
happen.
different lives.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Where they're like, he's just
Yeah, you
making
and most
things
people
happen.
have lived different lives.
This guy, you'd think he's a headliner the way there's open micers running around going, thinking he's famous on MySpace. So he brings me because, you know, I'm going to pay for the gas. I'm just
Right.
happy for the opportunity. So I'm on stage and I'm doing my stuff that kills at open mics, but it's not great. Definitely not in this thing. And out of nowhere, while I'm performing, a piece of pizza just hits me in the chest. Cheese first and like slides. It was like a Ninja Turtle cartoon. Like I didn't think that's how things were. You think the pizza would just flare off or something? No, it just perfectly hit me. I mean, the guy should have won an award for hitting me so squarely. And you know, nowadays it would like be like, what the fuck? I'd try to make it funny. I'd Matt riff it, you know. But instead I was just a victim immediately. I was like, why would you do that? Why would someone do that? Who did that? Like, I just completely crumbled.
Who did that?
And because I was so soft
If
about
you don't
it,
tell me.
the huge audience of 20 people, you know, were on my side. Like, yeah, that is fucked up. You know, they kind of like turned on this guy, and then this guy's like a cowboy. Thought it was hilarious. And his own girlfriend or wife was like, yeah, that's fucked up. And then he's like, oh, you guys don't get my humor, you know.
You guys don't get my pizza
I'm the
throwing.
pizza guy.
dude.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I fucking hit him with pizza. He sucks. And so then he had to leave, and the rest of the show, I just had like this red sauce on my thing. It was terrible.
How many more minutes did you have after that?
Like 20. Because Harold Gomez, another to his credit, but it's him just being lazy. Yeah, man, stay up there as long as you want. Sometimes he'd be like, you want to spread your wings, baby boy? How about 45 tonight? I'm just like literally an open micer just doing, because he didn't give a shit. What? Like now I'm so selfish with the stage time. Like
Dude.
I cut the openers down. I try to like, I
do
want to
that
be
too.
up there.
Yeah, you
Harold,
guys do.
Harold was like, hey.
Yeah, you guys do.
Harold was like, how about you do as long as you want? I'll be ready when you're ready. He'd just do 20 minutes as the headliner, get
You'll
his cash.
appreciate this. The only time he gave me 45 minutes was
Yeah.
when I was in Port Charlotte on Thursday night.
Yeah, he knew something was up.
I go, wait, you want me to do more time? What's going on?
I go, how about 35
I walk
tonight?
out there,
He goes, what am
everyone
I-
is 75
Yep.
years old, dude. I
Good
go,
old Vasani's.
That's why, dude. Good old Vasani's.
Yeah, but he even smelled suspicion
Oh yeah,
Bro,
before he went out there. I go, why don't you do 35? And he's going, what is out there?
the worst part
What's
is
out there?
I'm doing 35, and to do 35, I got to do my old chunk.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm so old. And they're all like, what,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm getting older. I had to buy a pill box, and they're like, we all have pill boxes.
We bought those 30 years
Ours
ago.
wear out. The lids have fallen off. We had to buy new pill boxes.
Dude.
What are those things called? Pill sorters?
Pill
pill
sorters.
sorters.
that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
I'm on my third run of pill sorters.
Yeah, they're like, we've had hundreds
I'm
of
doing
pill.
all those. I'm in my 40s. I'm old. They're like, we're almost dead. Like, you're fine,
Yeah.
kid. You're young. So I was like,
I've got the best Brian Regan bomb story.
Ooh.
Yeah, he told it to me on my podcast that he like bombed for this corporate event, and afterwards he went and got like a whiskey, and he's not a big drinker. Like he doesn't drink often.
Okay.
He's not sober, but like he just does. It's not his thing.
Right.
And so he's like, it was so bad, Jeff. I walked up to the cart. I said, just give me a whiskey, and they gave him. He goes, he drank a whole whiskey, which is for him something. And then this guy walks up to him and goes, it's all good, man. He's like, thanks, thank you, And then the guy's like, so what do you do for a living? And Brian's like, this. I do this for this. I'm the best at this. Like, imagine the best in the world being asked.
I'm the best.
Like Michael, you have some time with Michael Jordan. You're like, so what's your job? Like it's insane to me.
You know when they sometimes take like a world-class violinist and put him in the subway?
Oh, yeah.
And no one pays attention to him. They think he's like some homeless guy.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to be a really good comedian at a corporate. You
Yeah.
might as well be a violinist in the subway.
Yeah.
People
You
are
have
like, this guy
no
must
idea.
suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
what do you have? I know you have some good bomb
I have
stories.
so many. I guess the last one that really stuck with me. I did a private event for hedge fund people in Jackson Hole, Wyoming last year.
Jackson Hole.
Yeah, private, paid a bunch of money.
Hedge money's a good
and
money, yeah.
but it's a small group, like 30 people at this small bar. I brought my wife because we're going to Jackson Hole. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah. It's pretty up there.
Yeah, it's pretty. She came to the show. She's like, I tried to get her not to come to the show.
you're like, please
I
don't
go,
come.
you're gonna lose respect for me. This is gonna be bad. What I got to do? What I got to do in there is bad. And then she's like, no, let me come.
You're not gonna want to see this, honey.
Yeah, but
You're
she
gonna
kept.
think different of me.
This is what changed my mind on her coming. She goes, I've never seen you do poorly. And then I said, you should come. 'Cause I'm gonna.
Let's give you the whole spectrum of my career.
Yeah, because I don't want you to just think it's good sets and fun times. No,
Well,
no.
I love that you have that perspective.
Yeah, see the whole thing of
Yeah.
me. And then she comes to the show. She sits at the bar of the small room. 20, 30 people of this, and I'm dying. Like, I tried to connect with them.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
No comic is always killing.
No.
And if they are, and if they claim they are, they're always bombing.
Yes.
That's what that means.
Or just flat out lying.
If they think
Or
they're
just
always
unaware.
killing, that means they're always bombing.
That means they don't have an ear, and
Yeah,
they don't have,
exactly.
like, they have a deaf ear or something.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm on stage. I was trying to connect with them about the Delta flight coming in because they sold a bear spray at the airport, which I
Jeez,
thought was insane.
that's hilarious.
I've never seen that at an airport.
It's not
And I
even legal in California.
No.
We have a bear on our state flag, and you can't even buy bear spray.
Wow.
Yeah, and at the airport, they're like, you might want to buy this before you get out there.
That's
We got bears.
amazing. It's amazing.
And so I thought that was funny. So I was like, hey, did you see the thing? And they're like, no. And I'm like, did we not fly into the same airport?
No.
And they're like, no, we came in on private. I
Yeah,
was
they're
like,
all, they're all on private
Yeah.
jets,
all right.
dude.
And then so that started bad. Then I just keep bombing. And then this one guy gets up, walks over to the bar, and I see he's trying to chat up my wife. And he starts hitting on my wife while I'm bombing on this corporate in this small room. And I see my wife not even looking at him, just looks straight at me, and he's over there in her ear.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, are you hitting on my wife?
He's like, that's how bad it's going.
Yeah. Did you
I
say
thought
that out
I
loud?
could get
I
your
did.
wife.
Yeah.
I said, are you hitting on my wife? And the guy didn't say anything. And he comes and sits down. And I go, listen, man, I got to ask, were you hitting on my wife over there? And like a villain, he takes a sip of red wine without looking at me and goes, she's loyal. That's all he says. And then I had to do another 20 minutes. And
Like he was testing your wife's loyalty
Yes.
for you.
like he thought he could steal, because my wife's attractive.
goes,
He
"What
thought
is
he
this?"
could steal my wife because of how
That's
bad I
so
am.
weird.
And I'm like, after the show, I told my wife, I go, that's a corporate guy.
Yeah.
You're like, this
That's a
isn't that
corporate.
movie with Woody Harrelson where they
No.
offer a bunch of 100,000 to sleep with her. Like, that's not what's going on here. Get out of here, bro.
That guy was just doing it to try to shame me.
Yeah.
And the HR,
It's a power move.
What a
it's
power,
a power move.
Yeah.
That guy turns out to be engaged. The guy that hit on my wife, the HR lady who's like not a millionaire, like all those people, was like so sorry. He was like, I'm so sorry that happened. Blah, blah, blah. That guy's engaged. I don't know what his problem is. I'm like, you guys are all villains. It's Wolf of Wall
Yeah,
Street.
We need to get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
story out. Let's get his name, whatever company he works for, and let's get it out
Well,
there.
there is a craving, you know, like to get rich, right? It's obtainable. If you work real hard, especially in our country, you can get rich,
Sure.
and you can get super rich once you've kind of
Yes.
broke through some ceilings, right? And then you can't chase youth because you're always aging.
Right.
So that's kind of, but you can chase beauty a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But the hardest one is power.
Yeah.
That's the toughest one because we don't have systems like we used to have hundreds and thousands of years ago. So it's like, that was his way. He probably has tons of money.
Yeah. I'm
And he
sure more than
probably
me.
has, like, possessions don't do it for him anymore. The number in his account's just getting bigger, but he doesn't really notice a difference. But he's still craving this fucking power.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his way of being like, I'm going to go get it. Like, it's just he wanted to crush
Yeah.
an artist.
So
you
He
know?
wanted to
Gross, though.
crush a guy that you already make more money than me. I'm
Yeah.
clearly like your jester.
Oh,
for
look,
this.
he's getting all this attention.
Yes, and
Watch.
not even good attention.
Yeah. You're like, hey, man, I don't enjoy this.
And he's like, "This is too much for this."
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
gotta. But it made me feel better because I'm like,
Yeah, your
it's like,
wife rules.
Yeah, she's great and she's awesome. But it's like it takes one thing to like have a beautiful woman with a bunch of money, but to not have a bunch of money and
yeah,
still have
you're
a
like,
beautiful
she likes
woman,
me
like
for me.
Yeah, of course.
like I might be a decent person. you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
there's that element to it. So I ended up getting the win, but I was fuming on the
I
inside.
bet.
Yeah, it
Dude,
is weird.
I was ready to go because I grew up in the trailer park, so I got that little rich people are villains
Little
in
edge.
my
Yeah.
in my heart a little bit.
You'd love the movie Monkey Man.
Oh, is that guy just beat up
Bro,
the
don't
wealthy?
watch
No,
it.
no, it's
It's
just the whole
terrible.
premise is that.
Is that what it is?
The whole premise is that everyone poor is good and
Yeah, stop talking about monkey.
they're all
man.
victims, and everyone poor is virtuous, and everyone rich is terrible. And they must
No,
have-
it's
No,
only
but that's
like
what the
that in
movie is.
Florida.
No, that's how the movies are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I grew up around a bunch of poor people. There was very sweet people, villainous people, and rich people. The same thing. There's nice people and horrible people, except Florida, where everyone's a villain.
I love Florida.
Yeah.
First of all, I love Florida, and I work it multiple times every year. And all the nice people I interact with, like Erica Visanis, I get along with really well. Side Splitters, like the people that come out and see me, I love them. But every time I'm there, I go, there is this weird thing of your state where anyone that's a swindler likes to come here, and they're like, yeah.
We can
There's a
totally-
little
Oh,
bit
I
of
love
that.
it.
It attracts
Erica
them.
at Visani's in Port Charlotte is the only manager or whatever of a comedy club who's told me, because they always say, just do what you do. You
Yes.
know? Colleges say, don't say the F word or don't talk about religion or something. But comedy clubs, they say, just go do what we paid you to do.
Yeah.
Eric says to me, this is like 8 years ago, maybe even longer, right as I'm about to get on stage, if you're going to say something about Trump, it better be positive. And I was like, right before I'm about to get on. And I did have a chunk making fun of Donald Trump, so I was kind of grateful that he said it. And it wasn't just because he loves Trump. It's because he was just like warning me, like, this audience.
You'll lose them all.
You're going to lose
Yeah.
them. And it was early in Trump's presidency, which is also the only reason I had Trump material. So it was good advice. And if Eric, if you're listening, like, you know, I love you and it's funny. But it was the only time in the history of stand-up comedy that anyone's been like, here's what you're going to say about this subject if it comes up.
If you want it to go well, you know.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Yeah, but I love Eric and I love all those guys. But there's something about, you know, when you work Naples specifically, like Naples has great people, but it's the only place where you're like, I don't know how that guy made money, but it's not legal. It's not on the up and up.
Some shadiness
you
going
know,
on.
a little bit of shade. Yeah.
That guy's moving some freight, and don't worry about what's in it. If some of the freight says, "Help me, Mister," you just you put in your AirPods and you say,
Jesus,
"We're just moving crates here. Nobody needs me. I'm not some sleuth. Let's just move the crates."
Oh man! Speaking of money, let's get to the point.
Let's get in the
of
game.
podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I know.
Yeah,
well, it's
yeah.
because we like you.
This has been fun. So everybody's got a price.
Of course.
We ask you how much to do things. The question is usually always this one first, and because you like to box, we're going to ask you.
Oh no!
How much to get in the ring against Mike Tyson?
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
Like, and he's not
Like if you were going to be Jake
Paul.
Paul and get in the ring, how much money to get in the ring against him?
At least I'm sorry to go too high because I know you guys actually try to raise the money to make this.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that you
but
guys
I
consider
don't
Not
think
on the
this
Tyson
Yeah, I don't
one.
think
Yeah,
we'll get
yeah, I don't
Tyson.
thi- $1 million.
$1 million?
And then we gotta sign it to my wife because I'm clearly gonna be dead when I'm like she's gonna be the one cashing this check.
Nah, you'll be around. It'll be like a real Sharon and Ozzy kind of couple.
You'll be a little slow.
It'll be very much like that, where she's like, he used to be a great comedian.
Every time I show up to a room, there's just gonna be applause. Like, wow, he made it. He made it up the
Yeah,
stairs.
look at him.
Look at him.
So
He used to make fun of guys that forgot their jokes, and now his whole act is gone.
you just go right back to that edible moment.
Yeah. How do you get like that? Mike Tyson punched his comedy out of him.
Hit him right in the brain where all of it was, and it's gone now. It's
Okay.
over.
What about Mike Tyson in his prime?
Oh my god. I'd be dead. Like that really means dead. I guess times it by 10 million.
Okay.
Well, he fist fights guys, and they don't die.
Yeah, but he's also hitting
But you
other
box.
people.
Never
that fight.
murdered anyone.
The people he fought, if you look up the highlight videos, they have necks that start above their ears.
Yeah,
and the only
true.
reason their heads didn't fly off is because they're connected by I look like I do IT or something.
And you
Like,
do boxing, so you know like how hard it would.
I know what it feels like to get punched in the face by just an accountant. And it's not fun.
Yeah.
And then I still got to take Advil after that. And I'm like, man, that guy really rung my bell. And that's just a guy with no triceps.
Why are you boxing? You've always been into boxing?
No,
He's
it's
just
how
like the workout, right?
Yeah, the workout.
Yeah.
So I joined a boxing gym in 2018, San Diego, BoxFit, North Park, #1. Sorry, that's all right.
We like that.
But I was able.
Check 'em out.
I dropped like 50 pounds doing that.
Oh,
I dropped
nice.
a bunch of weight, and then it made me love the sport of boxing. Now I'm a boxing fan.
There's too much rhythm in it for me.
That's is that the part that gets
Yeah.
He's got no rhythm.
Because I wanted to do it, you know. I go over there, a bunch of cute girls. They gave me some boxing gloves. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like 1 2 6 8 1 2 6 8 7 7 7 7 1 2 6 8, and I'm just I can't even hold up. I would knock the fuck out of any of these girls in the class. I'd be the best boxer in that room if they let us go at it. But instead, it's just a bunch of us
throwing combos.
basically dancing to a heavy bag, and I'm sitting over there like a dope going, what is it, 7 7? Which one's 7? I got 2 hands. I mean, the whole thing was like a choreographed rhythmic dance. I couldn't do it.
That is a great description of what it can be. And that's why I'm having a hard time finding a gym in New York that I like, because there's two kinds of gyms. There's like a real boxer's gym, and then there's like Instagram gyms where the lighting's purple for no reason.
Yeah, that's.
I look a little hotter in there because
Yes.
like my muscles are sweating
'Cause they
and
got
it's
the right-
terrible lighting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I look pretty good.
And I'm looking for something in between that where I'm not trying to train where like real boxers train.
Right.
Jesus, I'm going to die. But I also don't want to be in an Instagram gym, and it's hard to find the in-between
Right.
spot.
At the end of the Instagram gym, they're like, "Would you like us to cut up your reels?"
They would.
Oh, for sure.
You're like, no.
Someone will film you.
Yeah,
and go,
we'll follow you and film you and cut them up.
Well,
$300
not
bucks.
you or me or him, but if you had a sports bra and a great ass, they would. Hey, can you share this? How many followers? You got 9 million? You don't even have a real talent? Perfect. Oh, you're just a super hot chick with 30 million followers?
Oh, it's the best.
I love the heat that's coming at you.
Yeah, dude, you're
This is
sassy
me,
today,
baby.
bro.
What are you talking about?
You're extra spicy today,
This is
dude.
me. I'm
You
doing
might-
Jeff.
Oh no, we're still doing the game. I'm sorry.
No,
I was gonna-
you could.
I was gonna say something that might light you up, or
Yes.
you might have an opinion
Oh,
about
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
So I just
light
guarantee
them
it.
up.
I just showcased, or I just got passed at the New York Comedy Club,
Nice.
which I was very happy with. But I did like the Monday late night showcase, and it was a really rough show. It was like 15 people there. It was like at 10 o'clock at night, and everyone bombed. And the only reason I did well is because I just made fun of the situation, whatever. But there was a young comic that went up, and she had a rough set just like everybody
Right,
else.
yeah.
And then, but she's like a cute girl. And she got off, and I don't think she's ever had a loss before. Like, she's never taken an L before. So she came off, she's like, God damn it. And she was like cussing and upset. And then she comes to a table where me and my buddy and another comic are sitting and goes, thanks for the support. And then storms out, like, is mad at us because we didn't, like, try to. No, we watched, but we didn't laugh because it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, no, we're not going to just blindly cheer
Give
for
you
you.
fake laughs.
And then she went in the green room, and the buddy of mine was in the green room.
These
told me
female
after.
fragile egos.
Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to get.
That's what they would call if you did it.
Yeah, well, that is true. But in the green room, she went, these male comics only cheer or only clap for or laugh for male comics.
That's
And
so
I'm like,
stupid.
I'm like,
It's
you
funny.
missed the entire show where
Yeah.
I laughed for a couple of the comics and a lot of them I didn't because
Right.
it just had bad sets.
It's called funny. And when you're a
Yeah.
comic and you're around comedy all the time, you think it's got to be really funny.
And everything has to be categorized.
Yeah.
God forbid she just wasn't on that night.
Yeah.
God forbid it's a terrible crowd. It has to be about her gender. It just had to be about the fact that something's against her, you know? It's
Yeah.
just-
Well, because the two options are you either blame it on something else or you look in the mirror and you go, I think it might have been me.
just
Yeah.
blame it, but also that night, blame it on the crowd.
You can easily.
Zoltan bombed.
I
So
didn't have a
then-
good set. I'm like,
yes,
this
so
crowd
then-
sucks.
Yes, so
Yeah.
that's all it is.
but also,
Yeah.
it's okay
that's
to.
more reasonable.
But
Yes.
it's okay to blame yourself and say you weren't very good. Also,
Yeah.
That's what I said, yeah.
And then you get
But
better.
I'm saying, like, you don't even have to be that introspective.
Yeah.
But to just make it blindly about your genitals, yeah, that's why we didn't laugh. Because you're a girl.
Yeah.
Grow up.
But there is a lot of that. There's a lot of because we're sensitive people, just all comedians. We whether based on gender, but like because we've been doing it long enough. At the end of the day, we can just go, "Well, it wasn't my night, I guess." Really
Yeah,
ate
yeah.
my ass up there, you know.
But
We
I'll
just kind of laugh
I'll
about
also
it.
say this too, though, and it might not come off very good. If you're a hot chick, you're going to get a lot more opportunities quicker
Sure.
than you are if you're just a white dude comedian.
Hot chick, you should be any,
chick, because
they capitalize on.
bookers need women.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we put them on a show, and sometimes they're not ready yet, and so
Yeah.
maybe it could have been that
It's
too.
almost
There
a
are
detriment
girls
to it.
Yeah.
on the improv stage, the Hollywood Improv.
Okay, right here.
The
Yeah.
best, like one of the most famous stages in the world
Mm-hmm.
that have been doing comedy for 3 years, 4 years, sometimes a year.
Yeah.
And I know, 1,000 funny male comedians that have been doing it for over 15 years that have never even gotten a spot there.
Right.
That's capitalism. They're capitalizing on
Yeah.
being women while simultaneously trying to pretend like they have it harder.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I think I tell comics this all the time where they get frustrated. I go, don't look at this like a meritocracy because it really isn't. You know, there's because how do you judge who's better than who in comedy? Is it ticket sales? Because McDonald's sells the most burgers every year.
Right.
Is that the best burger? No.
Yeah.
So like, there's no way to judge it. And if you're
you
like,
could
well,
just say the comic's name. We know who you're talking about.
I didn't even have a specific one in mind.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we always like have these like levels and like that person shouldn't be doing that. I should be doing that,
Yeah.
which may or may not be true based on who's
Yeah.
funnier.
Yeah.
But we're
But-
being taught, and when I say we're not being taught because we're too older than this, but young people are being taught that everything has to do with your group. So it's like, no one can, see your brother, no one can just be mean to you if you're an Asian guy. It must be that they were mean to you because they're racist because you're Asian. Like, it can't just be some grumpy dickhead cut you off in traffic. Instead, it's a racist person that cut you off in traffic. Or if, let's say if I made fun of Donald Trump right now,
Right.
your thought process wouldn't be like, Jeff hates men. No, you would just think Jeff hates Donald Trump.
Right.
But if I say something about Kamala Harris,
Right.
look who hates women again.
Yeah.
It isn't. So it's like everything gets brought down to a group.
Right.
And I think that's very ignorant.
Yeah.
No, maybe you're just a piece of shit, despite what your race or gender or things are. Maybe you just bombed because for a multivariant of things.
Yeah, you weren't ready
but
to
instead,
perform in this.
you like to bring it on your own thing. It's so embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. I'm sure. Like I didn't know that person. I didn't know that girl before she.
You
did
bombed that night probably because you're white.
That. I
You bombed that night probably because he's got long hair. One of these fucking hippie kids.
Well, you don't have to
Do you know what I
worry
mean?
about.
Like, you don't have to make it about your thing.
You don't have to worry about that woman hearing this podcast either. So you're good on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They don't listen.
Yeah.
Jeff, make sure we have no women.
No
here.
women guests. No women viewers. Well, they are. I'm just fulfilling their prophecy.
The He-Man Women Hitters Club from the Little
That's it,
Rascals.
dude.
What? How much to get in the ring against Jake Paul?
Oh, I'd take that. I'd take that action.
Okay.
I'd do that for 10
He
grand.
might beat Mike Tyson. So he's cheaper than.
Yeah,
Mike?
I'd fight Jake Paul for 10. Only because.
For 10 grand.
Yeah, only because. And I still think he'd beat me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Might even knock me out. But.
It's just not the same, huh?
I just don't respect him. I purposely don't watch anything he's a part of.
That's what the episode's going to be called. Zoltan doesn't respect Jake Paul.
Yeah, try to get that trending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See what
I don't
happens.
respect him.
Make him 10 grand richer.
Yes, and I'll take the 10 grand and I'll just keep it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't sign that over to anybody.
I like that. Yeah. Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you're going to get to keep all this money. This
Yeah.
isn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
so-
isn't charity.
Yeah, this
No.
isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Celebrity Edition.
Yeah. No one's getting.
I always love that when I do these like celebrity things. Like, you want to do Ninja Warrior, the celebrity episode? Want to do whatever the things they asked me to do? The Apprentice. You want to be on Celebrity Apprentice?
You turned down Celebrity Apprentice.
I didn't. My team did. This is. I know I was gonna say off the record, but here we are.
Sorry.
No. What happened was my team was like, that's for really, really, really famous people, or people that used to be famous and they're trying to make
a comeback.
a comeback, and you're kind of neither of those. And since you weren't famous to make a comeback, which we're glad you aren't, people are gonna go, who's this? He's not famous enough to be on this. So my team kind of turned it down as like, this isn't like a good thing.
But
to
that
like,
was also what 10
this,
years ago.
This shouldn't be your first. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
a long
that's
time.
smart.
Ago. Yeah. So, but what I was gonna say is, anytime they ask me to do those things, they're like, and all the money goes to a charity of your choice. I was like, no. What are you talking about? How about I have the money?
I need that check.
Why am I running the Ninja Warrior course for just some charity? Can I have it? Why would I give it to charity?
Please make that check out to Jeff Dye.
I don't get
Inc.
Yeah, Jeff Dye Inc.
Charity? What are you talking
Oh man! All right, so 10 grand, Jake Paul. How much
Yeah.
to get slapped by one of those slap boxers?
Oh my God, that's just CTE. That's begging for CTE.
everyone says
Everyone's
that.
got the same answer, man.
Because it is a dumb sport.
It's the dumbest.
well, I
sport.
would say it's not even a sport.
Yeah,
It's not a sport.
just dumb.
It's like if you had to show the aliens of how dumb this generation is, just show them a couple slap boxing. Like, this is what we're doing.
bro. Just when you see that, there's
Yeah.
they just
And they're
go
just all
dead.
like these big fat power lifters that are like, and I'm sure they pack a wall.
Yeah, it must be real hard when they're just standing there waiting for it.
Yeah.
How'd you hit him? Oh, it's easy.
I would flinch. I'd duck. If it
Well, that's
came
the
in,
funny
like, I would-
I think that's a good character idea. Is the guy that just dodges all the slap? They're like, there's no defense in this. You dodged. They get to go again, and then you just dodge it again.
Let's-
Like, stop.
Let's make that. We
It's
can make
really
that sketch,
funny.
dude, for sure. It's just sitting there. And then,
Hey, what are you doing?
the first
What,
guy
man?
to
He's gonna
use
hit
defense.
me. Yeah, he was gonna hit you.
yeah,
The Muhammad Ali of slapboxing. That's
Yeah.
just like, oh,
You're like,
And they just
Shoulder
keep
roll.
warning him. Seriously.
seriously,
you're
dude.
like, it's my turn. You're like, no, dude, you don't get to go
I keep
now.
joking about that with these quick draws. You know, the old Wild West.
Yes.
And I'm going through a real cowboy phase for the last few years. And those quick draws, I just cheat every time. They'd be like, all right, 10 steps. I just do 4 steps, and they just smoke his ass from
Right
behind.
in the back.
And everyone's like, you cheated. I'm like, yeah, but now my enemy's dead, so what's the problem? And they're like, but you didn't beat him fair. I go, fair schmear.
I'm Billy the
You,
Kid.
you want to
Yeah.
go to the bar or not? But you guys are a bunch of soft pussies, man. I had to kill that guy.
Oh man, that's funny.
Because I think the rule was if you did that, they'd hang you or something.
yeah, there had to be
Yeah,
some.
probably.
But also, you
reason.
didn't lose that shootout, did you?
No. Yeah, you got to leave town though.
I just
which is
yeah, which
Yeah,
is
you got to
easy.
leave town.
There's lots of towns.
There's back then.
Yeah.
everyone left town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd
but you had
leave
to
town.
start over when you went to a new
Well, that's
town.
great.
Yeah, that's what you want.
I
yeah.
want to start over. But in that town, I'm a coward who murdered a guy.
Well, you just want to start over because you already went through the ladies
I
in
would
that
be,
town.
yeah, I would be the worst. I'd go town to town, reinventing myself every few weeks, killing whoever wanted, robbing whoever wanted, having sex with whoever I wanted.
Jesus,
And
what
then-
a great human.
And then they'd be like, the whole town wants to kill that guy. No problem. Just mosey on to my next town.
Dude,
After cheating in the duel first, and then
Yeah. And then they go, we're going to hang Jeff today. We're going to go to his house, lock him up to I think he left. All of his stuff's gone.
he just let.
What do you mean
he
he
can
left?
leave?
And the
He
guy's
can
in a
just
different
leave?
town. Are you guys going to go get him? It's out of my jurisdiction.
it's
I'm
only
a
like
sheriff.
3
I'm
miles
only
away.
a sheriff of this town.
Yeah, that's
If I
crazy.
leave, there's no sheriff here. They go, I guess he got away with it again.
Over them hills, I have no
Yeah.
power. Yeah.
And then everyone just talks about, I'm not doing that stuff anymore. But I'm just doing it in a different town.
So, what's your price?
Because there's no
First.
news. It's not like
First of all, you are the Ric Flair, of the modern
Yeah,
young comic generation. Not the modern Ric
Yeah.
Flair, but Ric Flair.
I'm Hic
circa
Flair.
1989.
Hick Flair.
Hic Flair. For the slap box, geez.
10 grand?
No.
Fine.
At least with Jake Paul, I can put my hands up.
Yeah, and he probably
block
let
it.
you have headgear, too.
Yeah, I'm coming with him whether he allows it or not. I'm bringing it, and I'll say 250,000.
What about?
Okay.
to get knocked unconscious by one of those slap boxers?
Is it lower if you get to go first?
There's no difference what I'm gonna make by going first.
Yeah, but if you knock him out, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you
Could
want to go
imagine
first.
The anxiety of that swing and hitting him, and he doesn't fall, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, you want to go first.
I could miss so badly and then just get him with my fingers instead of the heel,
Yeah.
and just do one of those.
But either way, yeah, at least because I feel like them going first is a problem.
Yeah, you-
I would need to go first, otherwise I won't get a slap in.
Yeah.
So I would have to go first to get the slap in, because I'm going down after their slaps.
Yeah.
and it's gonna be
250.
250.
What about a woman?
A woman slaps?
Yeah.
Those are some big girls. They could knock me out too.
So would it be a cheaper price?
No,
or
same price.
All
Same
right.
price.
That's
I'm
the-
equal.
That's the
Wow.
PC
Dude,
answer right
no,
there.
that's true.
That is the
They're both
That's the
knocking me
piece
out.
politically.
That is the
Zoltan's
most-
PC, dude. which
No,
I
dude,
don't blame
I've been
him.
in the boxing ring with
Polite
D.
answer for that.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
smart.
I sparred with the lady. She used to be a boxer. She's older now. She's in her 50s, but she's a boxing trainer. I sparred with her. She smoked my ass, and
Yeah.
I had a headache after that. And I was like, thanks for taking it easy on me. And she's like, yeah, there's a lot more punches I could have landed. And I was like, man, so
Wow.
you
Oh,
put
so
the-
she was rude too.
No, she was a sweetheart. She was a sweetheart. She was just busting my balls. But one of those jacked up girls smacking you with
Yeah,
the
no,
shot.
I wouldn't want to do it.
250 all the way because the
But
CTE
it's
is all
a
the
trick
same.
question that only you've passed.
Yeah, you pat. Everyone else is like, oh, dude,
Oh,
woman. I don't
Yeah, we had a UFC guy's like free. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's not a
Free?
good
You're
answer.
UFC guy said free.
Who?
Sasha Platnikov.
He was on the episode a couple episodes ago.
That's a man?
Yeah, and he's a badass. But he was like, I
Born
think,
in
you know,
Hong Kong, from Russia. He's
Yeah, that's
dope.
a European name, Sasha.
yeah,
Plitnikov.
he was like woman.
Politnik, yeah.
He's, what do you mean a woman?
What do you
He didn't understand the
Bro,
concept.
he
He
said,
didn't understand.
dude,
One
he
of
said
these
free
drunk
for all
little
the fighting
things.
stuff.
One of these drunk little things you can buy in the mail. I'm fine with that.
He said free for my tie. He, like all the fighting stuff, he was like free. Like it didn't
Wow.
even
He's like a
Yeah.
Sean Strickland who just
Yeah.
likes.
He trains
phase him.
with
He trains
Sean
with
Strickland.
He
Strickland.
changed.
Wow, they just like punching each other.
Yeah.
Jesus. man.
Okay. So one of our viewers sent this one. I think it's funny. This is a new one. How much money to change your last name legally to farts?
Cool. What is the process of changing your?
The DMV. You just
Yeah.
What, you can just do that? No, because I mean,
No, you got to go to, I think, different than the DMV.
I can't just
Probably
say,
like the
"Hey,
legal-
this is now my name." The DMV be like, "No."
No, you have to go to like California. There's like some
Yeah.
legal registrar or something.
Ultimate
like that.
Warrior changed his name to Warrior.
But that
no
was
last
smart.
name.
You know why you did that?
It was to fight Vince McMahon for
Yeah,
ownership.
Vince
of
owned it.
Yeah, ownership
And
of
so
his
he's like,
name.
"Well, now if I can show that that is definitely my face and likeness,
Yeah,
and now my name, he's got to give me all that money."
yeah.
Smart guy.
No, it was smart, but they'll let you do it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
it.
no, I know you can do it. I don't know the process.
Legal Zoom.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So you could do it.
No, not deciding how to change your name.
How to file for a name change.
Yeah, somebody came out. I was like, that's
Looks
Oh,
like
you
you
gotta
could
go
just
to a court?
courthouse.
Can you change it back, or
Is
do you
there
have to keep it for
160 to 300? Is that 150 or
For a
160?
year.
a year.
Yeah, mess up my travel plans.
$150 to $300
Delta, like
Depending on where you live.
state by
Zoltan
state.
farts, dude. Jeff farts.
Let's read this.
Josh farts. Can
The
you come up to
court
the
may
counter?
require to undergo a background check by the FBI and have your so because they're trying to figure out why you're changing your name.
You might have to publish public notice, so post on Instagram that you're changing your name.
Wow.
Last name to farts.
So I would do it for
That's a good
$5,000.
Whoa!
Shut
Jeff
up,
farts.
dude.
For a year.
I think it's hilarious.
For a year.
I think it's
I'm not
funny.
going to let you.
No, $5,000. Jeff farts. I go there. I'll file the paperwork. Jeff farts.
I don't think you've realized how much this is going to mess up your life.
I'm locking
think
it
so
in.
at
I'm
all.
locking it in. It's
you
locked
gotta,
in.
You gotta
It's
go.
very
You
funny.
gotta check in for flights.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Are you Jeff farts? Sure am. What, you can't read clear? Look, Jeff farts.
$5,000. That's insane.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It's
I think
locked
it's
in.
funny.
Can I put in on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll all
think
put
it's
in on
really
it.
funny.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe.
Also, I'll use 600 of that dollars to 300 to change it and 300 to change it right fucking back after the year. I'm changing, but it's 1 year of my life. I will be Jeff farts for $5,000.
Let's see how often you can change your last name.
Oh
first.
no!
that would be great.
Yeah,
though.
that changes the
You can't
question.
change it for 5 years.
If I have to be it forever, forget it.
That's you
How about
gotta,
you, Zoltan? What are you doing?
Now I feel bad.
$5,000?
No, 50.
50?
Yeah, because like I think it's more of a hassle. You got to go to the DMV.
Don't
new
you think it's
driver's
funny?
license.
People are gonna go, "Do you know Jeff Dye's legal name is Jeff Farts?"
Farts.
And they're like, "Can't be true." Swear to God, look it up. Go on the internet.
I don't believe there's a limit on how many times you could change your last name.
It's great. So yeah, for 1 year, I will be Jeff Farts for $5,000, and it's not
Wow.
going to charity. NBC.
This would be a great gimmick for like the homeless people have signs.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like if I get this tip bucket to $5,000, I'm Jeff Farts. And
Yeah,
then-
they're really missing out on the social media aspect. The homeless.
They're not even using hashtags.
They don't have
nothing
Venmo.
out
Because
there.
someone will say like, for this many likes, I'll jump on the field
Bro.
at a game or whatever, and then it happens. People retweet it enough times that the kid has to do. A homeless guy can't get into that game. You
No.
know, he's going, how do I get
I mean,
in there?
$50,000. I would do it for $20,000.
20.
Yeah, $5,000. That's fucking
I
insane.
Yeah,
think it's
$5,000 's
I think it's a
insane.
funny story. I think it's a funny thing. Man, also, it really just becomes my manager's problem. Justin's like, "Oh, what do you mean your name's Jeff Farts now?" And I'm going to be giggling so hard. Oh, yeah, on the podcast. We
Bro,
changed
you
it.
could sell a lot of merch.
Jeff Farts.
I'll make Jeff.
Oh, I'll like sell magnets of the identification that has like, Jeff.
Ma-
Jeffrey Alden Farts.
I'll be selling merch that says Jeff Fart stinks.
Yeah. It'd also be like, because like, I hit people with this like random things all the time. They'll be like, "Your house is really nice." I'm like, "Yeah, I used to be a designer on Extreme Makeover Home Edition." And they're like giggle. I'm like, "No, it really was." And then when I show them, they're like, "Holy shit!" Or like people are like, "You on a Stagecoach?" I was like, "No, but I was the drunk on the plane guy in the Dierks Bentley song." And they're like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm the drunk on the plane guy." And they go, "Shut the fuck up." And I show it to. That'll be another thing. Be like, I changed my name to Jeff Farts for a year, and they'll be like, "Shit, no, you didn't." I go, "Swear to God, I was Jeff Farts for 2026. I was Jeff Farts the whole year."
Can I ask?
They're like, "Legally?" I go, how much did it cost? I go, "You go down there, paperwork, $150, $300 bucks." All right, and then I change it back, and they're like, "Can you change your name more than once?" Yeah, we looked it up. You can change your name as many times as you want.
That's insane, dude.
Jeff Farts.
You're insane, bro.
That's the name of the episode. Jeff Farts
Jeff Farts. That has to be the name of the episode.
with Zoltan.
With Zoltan. with-
Jeff Farts
Well,
with
no,
Zoltan.
Jeff Farts with Zoltan Farts.
That almost sounds like a Hungarian last name
cool,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, you
From
could
the
get away
hills
with
of
it.
Budapest. Farts with a Z at the end.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You guys might not, but early 2000s, this guy made his rounds because he took a bet for I forget the amount of money, but he got fake boobs.
Oh God, see that's crazy.
Big double D's too,
It
not
hurts.
little ones.
I mean, once you for like weeks, you're
Yeah.
like in pain.
And he had to keep them for a while, and then
You
I
look
think he was on the
ridiculous
Man
every
Show.
day? Oh, fuck
Yeah,
it.
he was like he was a guest on the
on
Man
the
Show,
Man
in,
Show.
in the early 2000s.
Back when Jimmy Kimmel was normal.
Yeah, Kimmel. Yeah, dude, Kimmel and I did Corolla yesterday. It was just funny to like see.
It's so weird how they just went completely opposite.
But they
paths.
still hang. They
That's
still
cool.
watch football together every
so
Sunday.
maybe it's all an act.
No. I think the real moral of the story is you can go your own direction. You can still watch football on Sunday.
That's cool. I
and
like
have
that.
a beer.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can get double D titties too.
Yes. And for, I think it was like $1 million or something stupid. Someone rich guy was like, you get fake tits. I'll
know,
give you
but
$1 million.
that's every day.
Every day with a big
You're
rack.
waking up with your tits going.
So how much for you to get double D titties?
50 million.
Whoa.
Maybe 100 million.
I'm gonna be honest. My price wouldn't be that high because I would get to play with titties for once.
I would hate it.
Jesus, dude.
I would hate it.
Josh got titties so he could play. and
You're
see
basically
something.
saying like also like how much to make you depressed. Like I'd be depressed. I would be like, it would like bum me out. Like also like every time I put on a shirt, I'd be like, I would be so.
I just remembered a line Corolla said to the guy with the big, because I think Jimmy asked, like, how do you do with the ladies? And then Corolla goes, he doesn't need ladies. He's got a rack in a right hand.
Yeah, that's funny. Which is funny.
That's a great line.
That's kind of his joke over here. But like
Yeah.
the thing is, the truth is like, just you and your buddies at a bar, everyone's laughing, and then you just kind of remember like, oh, I am the guy over here with tits. Everyone at this bar is just, they're not aware of the bet. You know, they don't know. Hey, I'll buy you around. I'm really rich. And the girl's just looking at your tits and going, what kind of freak are you?
How much would you get the titties?
You'd get a role
No, I
in
wouldn't
Monkey
do it.
Man,
You
though,
wouldn't
as
do
one
it?
of the
Nah.
heroes.
$1 million,
No, still.
$2 million,
If I'm homeless, I will do that. But like, no, I won't do the fake.
$10 million.
No, you have to understand. I grew up as a chubby kid, so I always got my titties
He's like,
pulled.
I already had titties.
and
my
so,
titties pulled.
yeah, so like people would come by and flick your nipple,
Yeah.
and so that's
The
like
school
my,
janitor always had an eye on me.
Yeah, come by.
I like that
mush 'em.
fat one. He's not going to say anything.
Yeah,
I'll
Jesus.
pull on his titties. I'll pull on his titties. No one's going to say anything.
So that's like a deep insecurity of mine. So
Yeah,
I can't
that
do
makes
the rack.
sense.
I
Okay.
can't. I'll,
100 mil?
no,
100 mil, you're doing it.
no,
Shut
I'm
up.
not.
You lost your
Well,
mind.
wait. We have a suitcase of 100 mil right now.
Dude, you'd have to do it for 100 mil.
Do you?
Because here's
Bro,
the
we
thing.
would cut off our hand for 100 mil.
I would. And here's the thing about the 100 mil. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything that would like ethically compromise myself.
Like murder somebody,
Like
that
hurt
kinda-
someone,
yeah.
or like like would you blow your dad, or like these kind of absurd ones. I couldn't do that because it's crossing like kind of like my ethics or whatever. But if it's just like a regular getting a tit
Dude,
job,
titties
you know,
for
it's
100
like,
million. That's insane.
I
That's,
do like the idea. Blow your dad. No, cut off my hand. Where's the saw?
right for 100 mil.
100 million.
I got a
dude.
bionic hand.
You get a weird.
I'm buying
Tony
the
Stark hand.
Padres, dude. Like shit is changing.
We've said this before on the episode, or I have, but like just for you to hear it, it's like once I have 100 million, I'm on my yacht. I got all these hot chicks. My life's going good. I'm gonna still do comedy at night. I got all this. I got my best friends with me. Everything's feeling good. And then I'm like, now that I have everything, kind of just want a hand. I'd just be sitting there going, if I just had this, it would all. It's such a full circle
Yep,
thought
it
of
is.
like, now that's what I miss.
Yeah.
My hand. All my other needs are met. I should have kept the hand.
How much to cut off with your hand?
None, dude. There's really no amount of money.
Let's do a small
Hand?
one.
I like
I'll
all
do
my
a small
pieces.
one, but I just
because there's nothing we can now film him doing.
I agree.
How much to eat the hottest pepper in the world?
Oh yeah, probably like I do like $5,000.
That's a lot.
a lot of money.
Yeah, to eat the hottest pepper in the world, I'd do
People
$5,000.
eat 'em.
Here's what. How
People
much
eat 'em all the
to
time.
go on stage and just go silent for 3 minutes of a set?
And you-
$500.
$500.
3 minutes?
But 3 long minutes.
Man, that's hard.
And also, you could put it anywhere you want. You could open with the silence of 3 minutes.
Wait,
you
does-
could be doing a bunch of material and then just decide in the middle that you're not going to talk for 3 minutes, but you can't talk for 3 minutes.
That's actually a fun challenge.
I know.
We like this attitude.
See, that's a fun challenge because then you can almost work on a bit where you're like, how there's some jokes where you play with silence and facial expressions, and then sometimes when the crowd's hot, you stretch it out a
Yeah.
bit. What if you try stretching it for 3 long ass minutes?
That's what we're asking you to do.
My shoe joke.
$500.
$500. I like that.
I don't have the joke in mind of what to do, but maybe I'll come up with
You would
something.
just do your Apple joke, dude.
No,
Just
I would do
this
the
forever.
Well, that's not silence, is it?
No.
No, but the shoe joke would work. You know where I say, I went to the shoe store. I went up to the guy. I said, do you guys have this in a 12 and a half? And he looks on his computer. He goes, we got him in an 8.
I think the answer is
But if
no.
I just like,
You
for
think you
3
could do that for
minutes-
3 minutes?
No, but that is what he's saying. Like that, the joke is being silent afterwards.
3 minutes.
Just like because you're so agitated. But I'm wondering.
That's a good strategy. First time someone.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I like that because here's how I think it would go out. Best case scenario, you get the initial laugh,
Yeah.
then it dies down, and then people are like, he's still kind of doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's like weird chuckles, and then you're like, he's still doing it, and eventually it's gonna come back.
Yeah, yeah.
circles
To a
back.
roar, and
But
then
for
it'll
3
might die-
minutes?
But
Yeah,
then
but then
minute
it's gonna
3, they might be like, I think he's retarded.
Yeah.
Like, I think something happened. up
Also,
there.
that's a new thing that's happening that I would have never agreed with myself 10 years ago, is that people are less comfortable with silence now than they've ever been.
Yeah.
It drives, so now they're uncomfortable because it's silent. Forget my discomfort. Now the crowd is going, come on!
yeah.
Because getting them to pay attention when you're talking is hard, let alone the silence.
Say something.
Hello! Just,
Yeah.
and it's chicks a lot of the times too.
Yeah. So $500, that's doable.
I'd do 500. That'd be a fun comedy challenge.
How much to carry a blow up doll around for a week?
Everywhere you go.
Oh,
She can wear whatever she wants.
I'd do $5,000
$5
That's
grand?
a lot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
How much to take a blow up doll on stage?
and just put it up there.
Put it on stage and you can't address it.
Let's go 1,000.
Okay.
I'd do that for like $100.
That fits your act. That doesn't fit
Well,
my.
not really.
I mean, it doesn't fit your act, but
Yeah.
you're like, Jeff's a fun guy. He does weird things.
Yeah.
He was willing to call himself farts.
What is that?
We had Chad from Chad and JT.
Yes.
He said he would do it for $1. We're like, oh, that fits. For sure fits.
Give me one of those shirts. How much to wear this shirt for a day? But here's
whole
the thing:
day.
you have to. We decide the day. So I'll give you the shirt, and then you'll we'll call and say, hey, you got 2 shows tonight, right? You're in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You got to wear this
no.
shirt.
I already
gotta
said
do
it.
it.
It's your day.
He's got to do it in Brooklyn.
Just because you
No,
picked
wherever
Brooklyn.
we see the schedule,
Right.
like wherever this is the shirt you got to wear.
What's that? Oh my God. I can't wear that. Yeah, dude. I can't wear that anywhere. Oh.
That's the right reaction.
What do I got to get a time machine back to January 6th
Yeah.
to wear that over there? Like, no.
It won't be that day.
It won't be that day. No.
Oh, that's the best.
I mean, if you'd
my
like to
God.
pick January 6, 2026, we can pick that day for you to wear it.
Wow. Who prints those?
Nobody.
Why are you folding it like a flag?
Yeah,
like-
it's my flag.
Can't touch the ground.
Jeff Dye's house. That's our flag. No, George came up with this one. It's very funny, and it was made by some fans of the podcast who made them for me.
Okay.
but we are impressed with your higher mindedness. So many people would be like, "Oh, they'll just get that it's a joke. I'd wear that." I'm like, I don't think you realize how.
I don't think you see what's going on out there.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
timing would not be good for that right now.
No.
But one dude said $300 and one guy said $7. So
And they're
That's the guy
twin
who
brothers.
made the shirt. He's just trying to get his money back from the printing play.
Well, he goes, they would know it's a joke. And you're like, I know.
I don't
but
think
it's
so.
still like people misinterpret jokes about really simple things.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially now because everyone's hot from anything that's big on social media and stuff and going on. People are very hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to get punched in the face.
So what, like $100?
Yeah, but some stranger's going to come by and haul you
Yeah,
off.
so like what, $100? That's what I just said.
We almost got him.
Almost got him, dude.
No, there's no amount. I wouldn't wear that though. There's no amount. Dude, I can't take that kind of...
I bet if you wore it to a grocery store, I bet if I don't know why I said you, if I were to even wear that to a grocery store by myself, not with my buddies, just me alone again,
Yes.
with the alone thing, I would overthink it so bad that I would turn back to my car and then take the shirt off. Like I'm just such a, I don't want people to be mad at me. I'm not like there's a wrestling group in AEW and they sell shirts that say "Scissor Me, Daddy."
Yes.
And they're
Gangbang Scissor Dizzard Club, something like that.
What's it?
Wouldn't they,
Not
aren't
the
they called?
gangbang, but they're the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed, yes.
Well,
that
like
group.
their whole thing is like they'll go to fans, they'll be like, "Scissor me, daddy," and they just do this, and they go, "Ah!" Like that's how they like high five each other. It's pretty
wrestling.
cool. And one of them is an actual gay guy, but the other guy isn't. But they're
Right.
kind of like this gay group, and they're just, it's funny. But it just says "Scissor me, daddy." I wore it to the coffee shop I go to every morning, and people were just like, why? And I was like, oh, it's a wrestling group. Like, because in my mind, that's why I initially wore it. I didn't think I was being edgy. I
Right.
thought it was just like a wrestling shirt because it's normal to me. But then I was like, oh yeah, this isn't normal to everyone. People,
Yeah, everyone's like,
people
oh,
don't
geez.
understand what "Scissor Me Daddy" and hot pink writing means on a shirt.
Out of context.
Yeah, so let alone little Anne Frank, who didn't lie to anybody.
Poor Anne Frank.
George, you're an animal, dude.
Yeah.
But it's a funny shirt.
It's a funny shirt.
But I'm also not the guy for it. Like, I get so in my head because I'm a shy guy. Like, if I ever did one of those,
That's why I was surprised when you said you box. Because you seem so sweet.
Because that was my way of like trying to step into something scary. Okay. That was like, I'm terrified of this. I should go do it. It's time. And yeah, it's time. Every social
you
event.
want to step into something scary, dude?
No, I've seen you throw punches. I'll take you, bud.
Yeah, he was ready for it. He just didn't want you to think that it was scary.
Yeah, $7.
How much? It turns out how much if I Josh $7?
Yeah,
I'll do it right
I'll
now.
do it for free. If you...
I just need a mouthpiece. No, I'm kidding. But but yeah, like if like my nightmare would be like one of those, where you interview man on the street type stuff. I'd be like, I hate bothering people.
Yeah,
trying to live their damn
tough.
lives, and I come
know.
in with a microphone.
How do you sell merch?
As I've gotten
because
older,
they saw me do comedy, so
Yeah.
there's context to who I am. But bothering a stranger on the street, I couldn't do.
Yeah, I get it.
it is I've gotten less comfortable with it, but it was always been uncomfortable. But I think the older and nicer you get, the less tolerance you have for that.
Because when someone bothers me, I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be bothered.
I don't want to be bothered. Yeah, let me just go get a coffee.
Yeah, I'll get mad at a guy just for like, he's like, "What, you like your cell phone provider?" And I'm like, "Leave me the fuck alone." Like I get like for whatever reason that makes me angry. Like, do you think I was wandering the mall going, "I hope someone offers me a cell phone"?
Cookies
like,
for a camping trip?
Yeah, everyone has a cell phone. We don't need you.
Check out this perfume. You're like, All right, a couple more questions.
Okay.
Just because we're running out of time.
For sure.
How much? Drew Lynch had a very funny one. How much you go on the Tonight Show with just like a little bit of pee dribble on your pants?
See, this
Man.
one would be millions for me too.
Yeah, this would be. I don't know.
Because why? Why are we ruining a Tonight Show set? Why does it have to be on the thing I finally accomplished?
Yeah, but you've been on it a couple times. Whatever.
But you
Yeah,
said
no,
a
I
little
don't see
bit.
it as whatever.
Just a little bit of dribble.
Noticeable.
For $50. Two reasons. One, Tonight Show doesn't mean a lot to me.
Lock it.
Yeah. And really, I would take the booking over because, like, the only way to get views off of doing that set now
Is
is
to do
by
something.
doing well on YouTube or Reels, and it would do really well if I went up there with a piss stain on my pants. Because then people are watching it for the
Get
piss
ready
stain.
for our $50 Venmo request.
If I ever get this
Once
booking,
you book
Yeah,
it.
when you book it,
We're
dude.
not getting you the booking. It's just that you get once you're booked on it. We go, all right, $50.
give me an eyedropper with
Yep.
my own urine, and I'll
Little
go
two
bloop,
dots.
bloop, two
It
little.
also might go viral because you could do the Tim Robinson thing.
What did he do?
It's not pee. That's how the pants are designed. And now, actually, that I'm thinking of it, now I might do it because they'll just share the image, like a screenshot from the set, and then they'll put that Tim Robinson quote, and that would go viral.
That would go viral. It's a way to get attention to your comedy, which hopefully then people would watch the set and maybe like, hey, I like that joke. I'll go.
I know
see
it's
this
not
again.
funny to describe sketches. Like anyone who's ever tried to describe like a South Park episode,
Right.
everyone's just like, "Oh, shut the fuck up." But the sketch is that like a guy goes, "Hey man, you got a little dribble on your pants. You must have whatever." But the pants are designed to have dribble, so that if you ever in that situation, you can just blame it on that pant company. You'd be like, "No, that's the design. It has." It also then protects anyone who has some dribble. You could say that these are the kind of pants they are.
I
And
need
it's
those
just really
pants because
silly, yeah.
I've hit that age now where if I get out of there a little too quick, take
Yeah.
2 steps away from that
I
urinal,
have one of
they're
those,
like,
"Hey,
here you go,
got,
buddy.
You got a
Here's,
little urine."
here's
No.
a receipt.
They're designed like that.
All right,
It's an
so,
actual company.
so $50. You're
bucks.
doing the Tonight Show with a little bit of pee dribble.
2 drops.
And then
Bloop, bloop.
how much after that to go on and change your name to Zoltan Peas?
Oh, you don't know Zoltan. He's really trying to make a meal of this.
Zoltan Peas. Well, that would actually add to ticket sales. That's an investment.
And then I get to book both of you guys as Zoltan Farts and Jeff Farts and Zoltan Peas on one
dude.
show.
We're co-headlining.
Co-headline.
Can't afford us, dude.
Yeah.
Not- especially
It's
not
a
after.
festival, dude.
We're gonna
Especially,
be doing Madison Square Garden with that kind
Yeah,
of
you're
hype.
right.
yeah.
dude.
Now that pee and farts is a thing, dude. Once that group gets together, it's
yeah,
like when
but,
Kane and Undertaker started tag teaming. You're like, oh, they're together now.
yeah, but I
Brothers of
helped make it,
Destruction.
so you guys are going to give me a discount.
Nah.
You can open. You can host.
Yeah.
It's still Josh Nelson. They're like, what the fuck is this
We
guy?
can change your name to
Wait,
Gambles.
P farts.
Josh Gambles.
Oh, yeah.
He knows
Also,
all the
like, why is
stories.
it P farts and Nelson?
Yeah.
One of these doesn't match.
Oh man.
That was fun.
Thanks
was
for
fun,
being on
buddy.
this, brother. Where can people find you? Where can people?
ZoltanComedy.com for all the dates, and Zoltan Comedy, all the social handles.
He's on the road all the time. Very, very funny.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This was a
for
blast.
being
This was so
dope.
fun.
Where
All
can
right.
they find you, dude?
JeffDye.com. You know where to find me. Check it out.
Josh Nelson Comedy.
.com.
You sounded
.com.
sad about that.
Well, I
All
don't
right.
have a .com.
Oh, you don't.
JoshNelsonGambles.com.
To be honest, all you need is social media. I don't even know why we're still paying our web guys. Us comics are fools.
Yeah, it's true.
Love you guys.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was
for being
fun.
here. We'll see
Hey,
you
George,
next week.
way to go today. You killed it.
Thanks, Josh. Probably cut that part at the end there.